Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Smokey Dave Presents. Today we're going to talk about what do you do when you want to cold smoke a cheese, but that cheese is soft? How do you avoid it dripping through the racks or over smoking it or maybe getting too bitter on the outside? Well, there's some tricks, and we'll talk about that today on Smokey Dave Presents. Today, we're going to be smoking some soft mozzarella and some imported brie, as you can see here. These can be very soft, and in the case of mozzarella, can be quite wet with remaining whey still on it. We'll be using cheesecloth for its actual named purpose, and that is to hold the cheese together while allowing any brine or additional whey to drip off. The cheesecloth also helps pick up some of the more bitter creosote during smoking so that it doesn't get the surface bitter. This is a trick you can even use on harder and drier cheeses if your smoker's being ornery and you're having to deal with a lot of creosote. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this brie into quarters. But the mozzarella, we're going to leave them in sort of the log shape that they're in, and we'll wrap them both in cheesecloth before we dip them into the brine. And that's another reason for doing it. It keeps the cheese together while it's in the brine. You don't want like those mozzarella slices to start floating around on their own. We want to keep it together. Incidentally, here is the brine ingredient list again. For those of you who may not have seen my previous video where we did hard cheeses and we created a brine, which we always use a brine before and after smoking in order for safety. This ensures that we'll have a safe cheese product that will have no bacteria or, of course, the most important one, botulism on the outside of the cheese. And again, you can refer to my previous video if you want more in-depth information on that. I'm putting the cheesecloth wrapped brie and mozzarella in the smoker. They've been in the brine for about 15 minutes, and they'll go in the smoker here for about an hour and a half. You may have also noticed that there's some ribs on that bottom shelf there. Well, we'll talk about that in another video, but basically I'm doing what is called cold prepping the meat before cooking it. Suffice to say, I will be making some bomb-ass ribs tonight. Well, the cheese is done, and here is the mozzarella logs out of the brine after smoking, and the brie as well. Notice the pinkish color left on the cheesecloth caused from the smoke. Well, these are ready to be vacuum packed, and I usually leave the cheesecloth on and pack them as they are. They don't take quite as long to mellow as the harder cheeses, and so in a couple of days they'll be ready to spread on your crackers. Well, that's it for Smokey Dave Presents today. I hope you've enjoyed this video on smoking soft cheeses. And just remember, wrap that cheese in cheesecloth. Anyway, you can use this process on a variety of different types of cheeses, like including Velveeta. If you're going to make mac and cheese or something, you can use it on blue cheese, crumbly soft cheeses like feta, or that Mexican version of feta that I can't think of the name right now. It's coletta or something like that. Anyway, it can be used on any kind of these hard to maintain cheeses when you have to put it in brine and then put it back on the rack in order to smoke it. At any rate, we have some links down below on all of the different products we use here. Of course, that helps the channel if you happen to click through there and purchase. And we will be having some recipes and other resources as time permits, and I get, time to build that into the website. So, once again, thank you for watching.